Eyes point to envy through the eyes of your eyes. I can see disguise. Leave my heart to be kind.
I needed a superhero with big, strong arms to help save Barbie. At 5, I needed someone to save me from the dragon's lair. At 8, I needed someone to teach me times, tables, and fractions. At 13, I needed someone to show me how a man should treat me. At 16, I needed someone with ice cream and jokes after my first heartbreak. And at 18, I needed someone to help me pack boxes to move into college. At 4, there was no superhero. At 5, there was no redemption from the dragon. At 8, I taught myself. At 13, I saw violence. At 16, I cried myself to sleep. At 18, I packed boxes alone.
Shallow wheezing, his father's drifting, and I'm staring out of a window, counting a crow. Down below, a sun is crowning, as God's creation, the ICU angel, turns and codes. And one alone is for sorrow. Through my fifth-story envy, I'm catching glimpses of interstate. On the other side of spring lies southern pine. Busy bodies hurtling off towards ransom mysteries.
For our chosen furry companions, for they are loving and fierce. They will stay with us, play with us, and we all live independent and proud. For we know the difference between a Dionysian revel and an Italian depiction of European Jesus. Does anyone think that Jesus was the only one to sit and commune with his followers? Yes, he did turn water into wine. That's really cool. Dionysus was also Lord of the Vine and the...
When I was a child, I barely noticed you. I barely noticed the subtle way you'd age me with your eyes. Your hands were always moving, never tired, molding me into who I'd become. I was deceived by your ability to bring familiar seasons, moments of joy that were illusions. All the while, I did not notice my circle shrinking. All the while, I did not notice my world shifting.
Chivalry and despair, they grasp in their morose, where fingers touch an angel's hair and feet the devil's nose. How sweet the sound of angel song when sung on golden wings, where lovers die for love alone and live for finer things. For sadness has the warmest arms and chivalry all we need, as despair plays its wicked charms and leaves us dead indeed. But sadness has no memories and chivalry hard to find. Despair can be a friend indeed. Always keep that in mind.
This is something different. This this hurts. You know, this is so far beyond reality. It may be a dream and it can't be true and it can't be real. I mean, what do? See, I do this thing, you know, it's a little funny thing, and I go, what? Which is the same when I say something that I really don't mean. You know, I just say it and I go like, what? You know, so I walked around the house a little bit and was like, baby, you ain't here. What?
Reward them paid leave, legitimizing their their crime. I mean, legalizing their crimes. And we become just another hashtag if we're lucky. Or otherwise others will remain unnamed, just dead, like wild animals. And they all raise a glass to their wind, saying, cheers.
I want to feel like a flower petal in the hand of a giant, who could crush me into a million pieces if he chooses to. But instead, he chooses to protect me. I feel safe and cherished. I feel soft and vulnerable. Nothing can hurt me when I'm with him. And that's it. I don't know if that's a poem, but I hope you like it.
Sweet young virgins of Persia were perishing, not from disease or famine or war, but by the command of their own sultan. Betrayed by his first wife, he punished all women, deflowering a new bride each night decapitating her at dawn. She would be bathed, perfumed, bejeweled, bedecked, then escorted to the bed of doom. She was allowed one final indulgence, perhaps musicians or dancers or even a visit with family. But no sighs, no tears, no pleas for mercy.
Connection. I walked through fire and brimstone, the darkest paths of despair, along with my demons because no one else cared. So when my heart becomes cold, don't try to ask me what's wrong. Just understand that the boy you once knew wasn't there. Why give myself to someone who doesn't care about my life? Why give my sanity to someone who doesn't see my sacrifice? Why walk down this path of mutual destruction, used and abused and only viewed as a subject? My thoughts have deviated towards a path unknown. Once I was human, but now I'm nothing more than a clone. A shadow of my former self, a projection of the pain, a substance used to substitute the substructures of my brain.
I gave you some borrowed peace, hoping I'd make it back working this relationship. I gave you borrowed peace and I went to bed crying while you finally got some sleep. I couldn't be upset because I knew from those deep dark circles like mine, the price of good rest is another person's restless night, tossing and turning till late, early in the morning when the birds start talking loudly amongst themselves. I knew that the price of you smiling again was to break my heart, and I added it in the cart anyways, tossing your happiness in the cart with no hesitation, without looking at the price tags because I knew you had a basket for me too.
I don't know, but I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. Cat got the tongue. But it's like some Love Joneses type thing, you know. Scared to take your chance. You don't know. I mean, I guess I could say this though. The layers to her heart are so beautifully intertwined, and you just want to unwind them, you know, to fully understand her, undo the doing of her battle scars, put up under your microscopic lens to understand her mind, body, spirit.
But hear how complex love was, that I'm not so sure I believe. I've been in complex relationships. I've felt that uneasiness. I've felt the seasickness-inducing waves of that. Then I believed love was complex. But then I met you, and suddenly love wasn't so complex. You'd smile, I'd love your happy side. You'd cry, I'd love your soft side. You'd compliment me, I'd love your sweet side. You'd criticize, I'd love the honesty. I'd look in your eyes, I'd find love. I'd hear your laugh, I'd find love. I'd feel your touch, I'd find love. I'd taste your kiss, I'd find love. Sunrise, sunset, love songs, joyous laughter.
Culling the fields of fever dreams, where blistered fingers harvest yields, bringing back only broken backs. While nobles dwell in palisades, built upon promised promenades, and peasants are paid out in pain with chaff and a miser tax. And castles crafted out of sand are sweat by time's eroded hand. Where sweat and tear assessors strip, collect their coffers trip by trip.
Before me lies a street of faded glory and sweltering summer. Atrophy and rust erode the concrete wasteland I wander. Nearby, a pothole puddle bristles with a message, but I can't decode it through floods of static. A radiating sun far to the west, dark clouds gather like grains of sand. Long shadows of late afternoon lie like felled trees by God's hand. This place was stripped bare long ago. Only the skeleton remains. An old watering hole gone dry. A forgotten place without forgotten name.
The lesson you keep forgetting. The blessing you keep neglecting. The question you're scared to answer, and I'm the demon you tried suppressing. Did I forget to mention I'm the reason you're tired of living? I've been with you since the beginning, and I'll be here at the end. You can only run so far before you break. See, the problem is you. You don't acknowledge my face. I'll just keep buzzing in your ear for as long as it'll take. You can't keep running from the truth, because eventually you'll break. And when you do, who are you going to blame it on? Destiny or fate? When my grandmother died, I was alone, no one to talk to. When my brother went to jail, let me guess, you wanted to talk to? What about that time my wife left me for some other dude? Let me guess, you were there watching everything that I fought through?
You know, sometimes it could be too much, especially when your life is basically a whirling tornado at the moment. Your life is a natural disaster that has occurred before you. Everything has barreled down upon you at once, like raindrops. all within the span of a month, you feel helpless, hopeless, and you're alone. I mean, sure, you know people love you. Sure, you know that people are there for you. But at the moment, you just want that one person to, I guess, love you again.
I need you to listen to the words that are in my mouth. I stuffed my face with gyro and rice and thought how hilarious of me. What if I took that trip to Dubai, but then I thought, what would rhyme with Bahavik? Kohemche, Merhemo, Je t'aime, te amo, I love you, okay? I flew to trip, to fall in love with myself. And now all I want is to be.